Hey everybody, Dave Cleaver here with @Mortgage Guy Dave. Today is a special edition. I have Steve Lee here in the studio, and we are going to be talking about the first and second quarter of next year and how to prepare for doing your taxes as well as purchasing a home. Oftentimes, somewhere around Super Bowl season is where the real estate and the tax season kind of kicks off. Make sure if you have questions, you put those questions below. We'll have information for Steve down there as well as my information. You can write write questions for either of us, and I'll make sure that that information gets forwarded over to Steve. Steve, thanks so much for coming by.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so Steve, when is the best time that somebody should file their taxes?
The best time to file taxes is as early as possible. We all know that the standard filing deadline is April 15th of each year. Of course, that's before extensions. But if you're due a refund, if you know or you're estimated to do a refund, I would file as early as possible. The only thing that really hinders you from filing, let's say January 1st, is that W-2s and 1099s are only issued usually the first week of February. So you actually have to wait that first month of January before you can actually do anything, because you have to wait for the W-2 or the 1099 to come in and the brokerage statements to come in before you can file your taxes. But once they do come in, file as early as possible so that you can get your refund as soon as possible.
That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Steve.
Absolutely. So, first question is, what is a recommended down payment?
That's a really good question. That is also a complicated question because everybody has a different scenario. Everybody has a different credit score, different amount to put down, different type of loan. For instance, a VA loan, you don't have to put anything down. But then you have what's called a VA funding fee, which is their version of mortgage insurance. And then with an FHA loan, you can put 3.5% down. They have an MIP and UFMIP, which is their version of mortgage insurance. A conventional loan, if you put 20% down, you don't have any mortgage insurance. So it depends on the client and it depends on the type of loan that they are interested in obtaining. Absolutely.
So it seems like 3.5% is kind of the base, where you at least need 3.5%. If you can get 20%, have a 20% down payment, that'd be great, because mortgage insurance could actually be a couple $100s based on how much under you are 20% or the mortgage size. So trying to avoid PMI mortgage insurance would be, it's usually recommended, right?
It's definitely beneficial to avoid that. I want to make sure that people stay liquid enough so that if there is an emergency, they can handle that. But at the same time, I don't want somebody paying $400 in mortgage insurance if they don't have to. So we look at all of those things together, and I come up with different scenarios for each client.
Right, and PMI, unfortunately, is not tax deductible anymore. In the past, it used to be. So if you can avoid PMI, try to avoid PMI. So what that means is basically have at least 20% down payment, but I know a lot of us don't. So at least 3.5, that seems like the baseline.
3.5 would be the baseline. You can do 3% with conventional. You'd have to have really good credit scores for that. But a lot of people can apply for those too.
Understood, okay, great. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.